Hey guys, how are you all? Hope so you all are doing well. Okay, so I start a new story as my last one is finished soon. Thank you so much for your views and love each and everything. Okay, so let's start the story without any further conversation. Mama, please, how I stay there? Talk with dad. It's impossible for me, please, he said, and from his eyes, Mrs. Spark, what I do? What I do, my son, now your father fixed you. Nothing is in my hand. Jimin, please, mom, don't do this. You find someone here, not in city, please. You know him well, mom. I will. Mrs. Sparks, Jimin, son, nothing happens. Don't said like that. Hope so I can do something for you, but I can't, she said, and Jimin say his mom. Jimin, mom, please, and then Mr. Park, come after tomorrow. Is his guest is coming. The family is coming here. Said him be ready till evening. He said, and Jimin look at him with the Jimin, please, dad. Jimin stand in front. Jimin stand in front of him. He is looking down. The man stand in front of him. He don't see him. The man is looking at Jimin and roll his eyes. Can we, Mr. Min? Yeah, please. Park Jimin, did you accept Min Sunjun? Jimin is silent. Mrs. Park said, son. Jimin, huh? I do. Min Sunjun, did you accept Park Jimin? Sunjun, I do. Both me, he said, and Sunjun rolled his eyes, and I'm fine like this. Mrs. Park, Sunjun, I do for you, please. Mr. Park, it's okay, ma'am. It's not important, Mrs. Park. Come and Jimin, I don't want to go more. Mrs. Park, if son, if you can, she said, and Jimin stand in front of him, looking down. The man stand in. Okay. Hmm, okay. So, like, think I repeat that text here. Yeah, that's good. Hmm. My mom is literally talking about me like I don't do work, and she's talking with my sister about this. Whatever, who cares here? So I repeat the text. Okay, I will do. Even stand in front of him. He is looking down. The man stand in front of him. He don't see him. The man is looking at Jimin and roll his eyes. Can we start, Mr. Min? Yeah, please. And it goes on. Hello, brother. I am Sani Sonjun Hyung's sister. Jimin look at her. I am Min Yoongi. Yoongi said. Jimin look up. He see Yoongi, who's smiling at him, and Jimin didn't say anything, and she looking down. Hmm. Jimin sit in. Jimin sit in the room. Well, the already passed. Don't come home till now. Jimin sit on the couch silently. He fresh up. Also, Jimin is in his thoughts when he heard a knock on the door. He look up and see Yoongi. Yoongi, hope so I won't disturb you. His voice is so soft. Jimin sign as no. Yoongi look in the room. Yoongi Sonjin don't come. Jimin Sana's no Yoongi. Oh, he may be in some work. He said, of course, he told Yoongi, everyone is downstairs. You come, Jimin. Yoongi, oh, you may don't see the house till now. I am also going in the dining room. Well, you can ask me if you want. Don't feel they come downstairs. Mrs. Min Jimin, you come. Yoongi silently sit on the chair and start to do his breakfast. Jimin, good morning, Mr. Min, morning. Where is Sonjan? Jimin, he don't come. he said, and they all stopped. Yoongi see them. Mrs. Min, what means he don't come? Yoongi means your son don't come home from last. Mrs. Min, he must have some work. Yoongi want to speak, but he stopped. Yoongi, well, Jimin, you sit to the breakfast, Granny. How can he do the breakfast? He have to wait for Sonjun. You forget in our family it's rule he don't eat till uh Yungi Sani, get up Sani me. Why? You go first to Korohan, ask if he eats, then you eat. Mrs. Min Yungi, he don't speak in all this. Yungi he don't come home for whole days for whole day. So he stay like this. Mrs. Min, you don't know anything. Stay silent. Yungi, I don't understand you. Understand you guys. Jimin, I eat when he come. Jimin speak. Yungi look at him and his sign. Yungi I alot. He get a partner who speak in front of him. But now you are so innocent. He said and go from there. Jimin don't know how to react. He go from there silent to Granny. Yoongi speak a lot. Mr. Min leave him. He is still kid. Mrs. Min. He is not. He complete his studies now. Said him go office. Mr. Min, I do. Sani, I am done. She take the glass full of juice. Granny, where are you? Sani, I don't leave him. She said, and Granny, your kids is too much. She said and start to eat her breakfast. Jimin come and Jimin come in the garden. He don't know where he go. He don't know where he go. As the mansion is so big, he sit on the couch there. When Yoongi come, he speak, but he heard voice. Sunny, hello, brother. For you, we know our parents is little old, but we are not, right, young? They do high five Yoongi, of course. He also sit but on a distance. Jimin, I don't do this, honey. Come on, it's just a glass of juice, Hyung. Come in the Hyung come in evening. I know he must go off. It doesn't mean you stay. Yoongi never. Jimin see them and he smile lightly. Jimin, thank you, but you listen your parents. Yoongi, huh? We also become here. Then they look. He look at Yoongi. He take the sip of juice. Sunny, so it's also new for you, right? Yoongi started scrolling through his phone. Jimin nodded. Sunny, don't try. Me and Yoongi Hyung make sure you don't get bored. Jimin smiled lightly. Yoongi see the car enter in the mansion and Sanjin go upstairs. Yoongi, you guys stay here. I will be back in a minute, she said and go upstairs. Sunny, I think Hyung come, she said and Jimin see her. Jimin now, Sunny now, what you think still? She said and Jimin become to think about this. Yoongi, Sanjin, stop. He stop and he stopped and looked at Yoongi. Sanjin, Yoongi, where were you? Oh, Sonjin, where you think I was? Of course, with my Yoongi Hyung. Now you are. He is waiting for you at home. And what you are doing? I don't said him wait for me. Tell him I am not at all. Don't expect anything from me. Yoongi, he deserve. I don't know why he agree to you. So you start to speak too much. Change your tone. Otherwise, I know how to change this of yourself, he said, and go from there. Yoongin, my you do outside and she wait for you and complete the responsibilities. I don't let this happen, he said, and go. Yoongi come and Yoongi come and see Jimin still sit on his place in his thoughts. He go and sit in front of him. Jimin see Yoongi He don't know why, but whenever Yoongi come in front of him, is on another level. Yoongi, I thought you must be missing your parents, so you talk. Jimin, I am, but how I talk? I mean, I don't have phone. Yoongi, no problem. Here, take my, give me back when you're done. Jimin, thank you. Yoongi, no thanks. You have to give me something in return. Jimin, what? Yoongi, be here and share with me whatever you think. I will become your good friend. I promise. Jimin smiled and nodded. Jimin, okay. Yoongi for you. Jimin, alright. Yoongi. Friends, both to handshake and Yoongi smile. Yoongi again. If you want something, you can tell me. Now talk with your parents. Bye. Hmm. Done to Jimin. Done to talk with his parents. He is finding Yoongi now. As he want to give him his phone back, he stopped on his way to see Sonjin. Sonjin see him. Sonjin, you are here. Jimin, I don't come back today also. Jimin, where you go? Sonjin, you think you are? If I tell you this, stay away from my matters. It's good for you. Remember this. You are nothing, just a. If you try to think me as I saw, he said and go from there. Jimin felt his chuckle as his father is happy now. Jimin sighed he don't want to. He go to find Yoongi and see him finally. Yoongi is walking when Jimin call him Yoongi. His voice is so soft. Yoongi turn. Yoongi, yes. Jimin, your phone. Thank you, Yoongi. No need to say thanks. Well, I have something for you. Jimin, for me. Yoongi, yeah, for you. He said then go. He come back after some minutes. Yoongi for. He said and Jimin shocked to see the phone. He signed as no. Jimin, I can't take this. Yoongi, why? Jimin, I just can't. Thank you so much. Yoongi, but why you can tell me I don't you still. Yoongi, it's not right. What answer I give to everyone from where I get phone. Yoongi, I solve your problem. Just wait and watch. He said and go from there. Jimin see him and he also go like what he do now. It's evening. Everyone it's evening. Everyone is here. Sonjin also busy on his phone. Sunny, Jimin here. Me and Yoongi have gift for you. Yoongi, oh yeah, I remember. She go and come with the phone. This is a small gift from us. She said, and Jimin look at Yoongi, who at him, and Jimin signed to see him and smile lightly. Mrs. Min gift? Why? She asked, being confused. Yoongi, his gift. Mrs. Min, oh, take this, Jimin. They are the people don't give gift to each other on their birthdays and give you gift. She said on both sides. My gift, Yoongi, you are sincere with it. We give you gift, he said when everyone see them. Mrs. Min, Yoongi. Hmm. Sanjan, stay away from Yoongi. I am not even interested, but everyone know the reality here. You are not interested in this, and I really don't want someone to follow the rules of this house. The rules of this house. As when your son don't accept him, why he follow the rules, huh, Mr. Min? Yoongi, I am seeing you from a hmm. Mr. Min Yoongi, I'm seeing you from a long time. I don't speak in a Yoongi. I am not that, but you don't see when your son don't. Granny Jimin is the Jimin is the son of this house. Now Sonjin, him or not. But Jimin have to follow the rules. Yoongi, then I don't let this happen, Sonjin. Who is he to you, huh? You are speaking like this. He a little bit. Yoongi, the responsibility. He is the responsibility of this house. So of course, my also. He said. Then Sonjin stays silent. Jimin become to see all this. Like what's happening, Mr. Man? Yoongi, go from here. Yoongi, but that, Mr. Min, I said go. He and Jimin. Yoongi, go from the sun. It's all happens because of you. He is speaking with me like this. Because of you, you are happy. He want to accept like his mom. I have a Mrs. Min, my son. Go from here. Take some rest. Sonjun to come in my room. He said and go from there one by one. Everyone go. Jimin is in the isn't Jimin is in the living room. He don't know what he do. He start to and sit on the couch. After 20 minutes of continuously he see the tissue. He look up and see Yoongi. Please Yoongi, you are on Sonjun words. I gave you advice. He's don't because of him. You must be hungry. Let's go. Jimin, where Yoongi, come na. He said Jan. No one is here. Sonjun also said don't come. So Jimin, go with him or what you do. He is also. They come on backyard. Chungi, you are comfortable to sit on the ground. Jimin nodded and they both sit. Chungi, well, it's totally a to food till your so don't eat. I order food, you eat. Jimin sign as no. Jimin sign as no, looking down. Yoongi, really, huh? Don't be so innocent, Jimin. Jimin looked at him. Yoongi had a monofa on his face. Yoongi looked into another side, and then the maid come with the food. Yoongi, you don't tell anyone, right? Maid, I don't. If you kept your promise, Yoongi, I will. Maid, okay. Jimin, which promise, Yoongi? I promise with her. I talked with mom. She continue her studies again in college. Jimin, smile. Jimin, you are so kind. Yoongi, well, also. Jimin, chuckle. Yoongi, you might become shocked. I am totally. I never anyone. Jimin, why? I mean, you are kind and good. Yoongi, I thought I would be sincere with my partner. As mom said, if you yourself is, then you get a person. Well, it's Jimin, why? Yoongi Sonjin, don't you? He said, and Jimin looking down. Yoongi, why you said yes for as I know you never meet Sonjin, right? Jimin, I don't. My father do. They don't even ask me. He said, and both continue to eat. Jungi, wow, I also want a partner. He said, and Jimin, see him. Jimin, why? He chuckled. Jungi, of course, you are perfect. Jimin, haha, thanks. Jungi mentioned not. And they do the dinner together and talk for a long time. It's late, so Yoongi, here, take this. Jimin, what is this? Yoongi, guest room keys. You sleep there. Jimin, oh, thank you so much. You are doing so much for me. Yoongi, it's okay. I take something from you. In return, Jimin, and what was that? Yoongi, just wait and watch. He said and go. Jimin didn't, and he also go in his room. Okay, so well, Yoongi's is the first and last hop in this house. Time pass, Yoongi. Time passed, Yoongi. Yoongi and Jimin become good friends most of the times happen, they do. Most of the times happens they do the dinner together. Yoongi is now confirmed he have for Jimin, but he don't let this happens. He he can't. It's true. It's right. It's not right. He most of the time think to stay away from Jimin, but it's also true. Jimin is with him only in this house. He don't talk with anyone, not even Sonjun. He always and well, Jimin don't tell Yoongi about this. And Jimin tried to explain. He to make the things fine, and he can't. Yoongi come in the Yoongi. What happens? Jimin, what I do? What I do, Yoongi? Whenever I want to make everything alright. Something happens. How can I to him? He said. Then Jimin said so easily, but Yoongi feel he know who know he himself don't want to go to him. Yoongi, you want to go to him. Jimin, I want to make everything alright, Yoongi, and you think like this everything become alright. Jimin, I want to try. Yoongi, you can. Jimin, really? Yoongi just nodded. Jimin, I too. He suddenly coughed from the Yoongi felt his, and now he placed hand on and from one by one. Hmm. Someone is him. He know he is his brother, but what he do with this who's not listening? Yoongi, I try my best to stop Jimin, but I can't. How can I tell you without I with please don't do this. He is and no one here to calm him. The thought of him what he do now? Can he become he how can he become so why the rain start but the ants passing and Yoongi. You all read this by yourself, and there are so many words I don't speak in voiceover. Hmm. And the night pass at sunrise. Yoongi wipes Yoongi the for me, and it's past. I think can stand up. His whole world change. Huh? Well, it's almost and her last scene. Yoongi come downstairs and he see Jimin is smiling. What's the meaning of his smile? Jimin see Yoongi. He went toward him. Jimin, good morning, he said happily. Yoongi, you are looking so happy. Jimin, yeah, I am. Yoongi, may I know the reason? Yoongi, yeah, you can. My mom have, but she's all fine now. Yoongi, really? That's a great news. Jimin, yes, I am. I'm so happy. And then the door opens. Sonjun come. Jimin see him. Yoongi, where he go? Jimin, he don't come home. He said then. Yoongi, look at Jimin. Yoongi, it's mean you are. Jimin nodded. Jimin, Yoongi felt like. Yoongi felt like. Hmm. Yoongi felt relieved. He's feeling like his heart again start. Sunjun come and place the in of papers on the table and already the papers. Sunjun, Jimin look at him. Sunjun, come here. Jimin went to him. Sunjun, here. He's looking. Jimin, what's this? Sunjun, do as I said. Him and Jimin become Mrs. Min, what you are doing, Sanjin? Sanjin, do. Jimin, the paper. Sanjin, I give you the. He said, and everyone saw Mr. Min. What you are saying? Sanjin, I someone dead, and I am happy with her. I don't like him. Send him back from here as soon as possible. I don't want to see him here again. Where he come? He is to me. He said, "Dan, go from there." Jimin is all shocked. He don't know what just happened now. The whole family is so shocked. Yoongi see Jimin. He is with Mr. Min. It's evening. It's evening. Jimin is in his room. He is and they all are in the living room. Yoongi don't know how to Mr. Min Sonjun do a granny. He do now we can't do anything. Said him go back his house. Mrs. Min, what he said. He said to his parents, Granny, that Sonjun gave him. Or what else he said, Mr. Min. We don't have any other option, so he can't stay here now. Go and call Jimin. Call Jimin, who come his eyes is, and it's clear Jimin stand in front of them. Mr. Min, what happened, Jimin? We can't ask for, as we know. I said to my parents, Granny said, whatever you want. Jimin, they want me, please, Mr. Min. They do, Jimin. Mrs. Min, they do, Jimin. Jimin, they don't. I know where I go now. You can't stay here. Is not. Jung is not here. He is in his room, Jimin. But tell me where I go, Mr. Min. Go from there and one. And one by one, everyone go. Jimin sit for some times, and Yoongi come downstairs. He see Jimin sit on the ground, and Yoongi Jimin look at him. Jimin, where I go now, Yoongi? He said, well, Yoongi, you don't go anywhere. He said, hold his hand, and Jimin stand up. Yoongi, come with me. Jimin, where? Yoongi, just come. Okay, so this is the second last scene. Soon they both reach. Jimin say, Jimin, why here? Yoongi, stay here. He said, then go. He come after some times. Yoongi meet Jimin. Jimin sign as no. Yoongi, I know after what happened, Sonju, do you don't, but trust me, I always make you happy, please. Jimin, no, I will not. Yoongi, please, once, Jimin, I will. Yoongi, my life, Yoongi, but you are so important to me, please. I take your. He have to give the answer of your every. He said, Jan, my Yoongi, please, Jimin don't know what he do. He don't have any other option also as where he go. He nodded and both stand in front of each other. Second last scene and the third last text. But Jimin, did you accept Min Yoongi? Jimin, I do. His voice is like a whisper. Min Yoongi, did you accept Park Jimin Yoongi? I do. Jimin look up. After hearing his soft voice, you both me, he said, and Yoongi went to him. He on his forehead softly, and he looked at Jimin and smiled. Yoongi, let's start a new life with full of happiness. Jimin, your parents. Yoongi, you need to know one thing. Jimin, first you and then others. He said and hold his hand. Jimin see him and then they both go home. Last scene and the second last text. It's night time. He come home. He hold Jimin hand. Mrs. Min Yoongi, she stop as she see Jimin. Mr. Min, what she is doing here? Jimin looking down. Yoongi, dad is he said me. Everyone shocked. Really? She said excitedly, and then see her parents stop. Yoongi, Mrs. Min, how can you do this? Yoongi, I do. Your son did a big mom. Mr. Min, Young, it's your son who do, and you understand with the passage of time that Mr. Min, and if you want to stay here from here, he said, and look at Jimin, look at Yoongi. Yoongi thanks. Then he said, and the cards in front of his father. So finally, last scene and the last text. His dad, Yoongi, I go from now. You are to me, and I'm not. He said, then Jimin, see Yoongi. Yoongi, trust me. He smiled, and then they both go. Hope so you all like. If you like, then subscribe and tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Sarange. See you in the next video soon. Sarange.